Yo, yo,
Hey Raj,
what's going on, Devin? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. It's good to see you. It's been about a month since we've done a Reggae PodClash. This is
It's
the
been a while.
first one of the year, and it feels like the first one in a long time because it
I haven't
is.
seen you since last year,
Oh man, it's been too long. That's too long to go without seeing
right?
friends.
Yeah,
Um,
man.
well, this is a great way to start the new year. I can't think of a better guest and a better way to start 2021 and a new decade than one of my favorite singers and songwriters, as well as one of yours, Mr. Ken Boothe. He's a
Yes.
legend. He needs no introduction. So he will be joining us in about 15, 20 minutes. But as always, we start the show with the record of the week segment. And this week, I'm going to go first because we have not done a show since the passing of the great Albert Griffiths of the Gladiators. And I really want to take a second to pay some respect to him because the Gladiators have always been just in my top of groups, not just in reggae music, in any music. Albert Griffiths is just one of the great vocalists, one of the great songwriters, so influential in roots music. And, I can't really say enough about what his music meant to me and to so many people. And so my tune this week is going to be a Gladiators tune. This is a Studio One tune, heavy roots, called Talawah.
Old time people them used to say, when short mouth tell you can't hear. So when long mouth tell you go feel it. You talk too much. You pay your mother and father debt. Go never know the use of him till the butcher cut it off. Go never know the use of him till the butcher cut it off. Ooh, tra la 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 la. Looks is deceiving man. Don't underrate me simple but me Talawah. Looks is deceiving man. Don't underrate me simple but me Talawah. Don't watch the tool, the work it can do. Watch the man that behind it. The man laugh first. Him no laugh, yet the one laugh last. Get the whole of it, man. Don't watch the tool, the work you can do. Watch the man that behind it. The man laugh first. Him no laugh, yet the one laugh last. Get the whole of it, man. Ooh, me simple but me Talawah. Ooh, me simple but me Talawah. Ooh, simple but me Talawah. Me I give you parable. Ooh, simple but me Talawah. Me I give you parable. Ooh, simple but me Talawah. Ooh, simple but me Talawah.
Yeah, man. Tribute
Tough
to the
tune.
tribute to the late great Albert Griffiths. They redid that tune and used the lyrics on "Looks Is Deceiving" on the classic Trenchtown Mix-Up record. But
Nice.
yeah, that version is just got everything. It's got that unmistakable that no one can ever duplicate sound. Of Studio One when they were playing that kind of roots, and the
Mm-hmm.
drummers holding that like really heavy, steady hi hat.
Right.
I always call that style like country roots because you know Albert Griffiths was one of the masters of like using Jamaican parables and just constructing like a masterfully written tune with those kind of lyrics.
Yeah, you said you described it like that in another tune we did, right? The country.
Yeah, like it's just, you know, like Leonard Dillon was a big champion of that, you know, of the Ethiopians. Albert Griffiths, just writing songs using parables and different sayings, and it's just, I don't know why that kind of genre is always, that era of Jamaican music has always really just touched me, you know. And the Gladiators, I mean, you just can't really say enough about what they did for reggae music and worldwide music, really, because we all know how influential Jamaican music has been on global music. So, you know, it was heavy to hear about his passing. I know he had been in poor health for a while, but you know, it's just, I'm so happy to have all the music that he left us. And of course we have his longtime bandmate and friend and brother, Clinton Farron, coming on with us in a couple weeks to talk about Albert. But just wanted to make sure I played that song because that is a tune that, you know, Butcher and I from the Expanders used to sing that song all the time. Like in green rooms around the country, you would hear us warming up with that one.
What is Talawah for those that don't know and never heard that word?
Talawah means strong, like powerful. So he says, you know, I'm little, but I'm Talawah. So like, you know, and you hear that in different tunes. You know, it's the same sentiment as like Step and Razor. Like, don't watch my size. You know, I'm little, but me Talawah.
There you go.
It's a dope word, and yeah, means powerful and strong.
Yeah, nice, man. That's a great tribute, brother.
Yeah. All right, what you got, Raj?
I have. The tune is called "Sufferation" by Trevor Clarke.
Ooh.
Yeah, man. Play the tune.
2 studio ones today. Here we go.
I wake up every morning and got nothing to do. I wake up every morning and got no
Back to back Studio One.
Yeah.
It's Studio One Day, ladies and gentlemen. Happy National No, it isn't an official Studio One Day, but we're making it that. Heavy tune, right? Heavy chug, heavy bubble. I mean,
Chugger.
it like you said earlier, it's that Studio One sound. It's magical. And so in this era, when I call chugger, whatever, it chugs, it's like a train that's chugging along.
And mostly because of the organ, right? The organ is like driving the chug.
The organ is driving the chug. Right. No, Jackie, it's funny because like, even though that pattern is done by, others in Jamaican music, the tones that he's using on that organ in Studio One, like just hearing that bubble for a little bit, I was like, oh, that's Jackie. Mm-hmm. And so, it's so funny, right? Because you could talk about you could talk about the guitar skank or the double skank or the chinyang or whatever, and trying to find out where the story began, like it'd be cool if you knew, like, that dude made that. Jackie Matu created that kind of bubble. Like, we don't know. Yeah, I don't know,
Well, the sound dimension rhythm guitar player on that one, whose name always escapes me for some reason, that's ridiculous. I can't think of it right now. But he, like, on those chuggers...
It's not Hux?
Yeah, maybe it's Hux. Yeah, it's Hux, right? It's Hux. And he would do those on the 5 chords. He would just do those, like, jing, ching, ching. That was, like, his move.
Right.
And Studio One sound dimension tunes with that organ and that kind of like guitar fill. It's like there's nothing else that sounds like that.
Right. And then you throw in the kete, like, geez, that whole soup is great. And so, like, you could even take the lyrics out. I mean, Trevor does an amazing job. It's funny because Trevor Clarke, I don't know a bunch of stuff that he's done, like I don't
really
do you know
either.
a bunch of
I know that tune. Yeah, I'm not really sure.
So, yeah, I mean, it's a great tune, but I know I gravitate towards the music part of it. And so that already, they could be singing about anything. They could be singing about teddy bears or something, and I'm still going to love the song because it's a chugger and it feels good. So, yeah, man, I had to play that. And it's funny you played Studio One, Well, that's one of the reasons why they're the Motown, of Jamaica.
That's right.
It's one of the reasons why they're...
Well, thank you, Roger. That was a great one. And our Record of the Week segment is brought to you by our new sponsor, the Reggae PodClash merchandise store. You can go to rootfire.net and click on the store tab, and we got all kinds of nice stuff: hoodies, hats, mugs, shirts. It's
look at them mugs.
Quite a plethora of stuff on there. So please go check that out. And now, Roger, do you want to do the honors?
Without further ado, I mean, we say this a lot about every guest we have, and it's true. For me, especially growing up, this man has totally shaped my Jamaican musical journey. I mean, his album, A Man and His Hits, is, if I'm on an island and I'm stranded, that's it. I'm taking that album with me. That's it. Hitters from top to bottom.
Yep.
When you go to a live show and see our next guest, from start to finish, they're all hits. There's all killer, no filler. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ken Boothe is on the Reggae PodClash with us today. Hi, Ken.
Hi, Roger, and thank you for that compliment.
It's so true. I mean,
Devin, you two guys are two musicologists. That's how I describe you guys.
We try.
When I think about music, even that vinyl, I love vinyl so much. All you have to do with vinyl, is with some water, a piece of cloth, and just wipe it, you can play it over and over again.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I love about vinyl. Vinyl will never die.
That's true. A lot of people are afraid to touch their vinyl and clean it up, but you're absolutely right. You can clean it. You can get that gunk off it.
You're right. It all started up from my mother's womb. She birthed me, and then she bred and fed me, she and my dad. And then I grew up to realize that I can guide my own self. You understand? From a child to...
Yeah.
And my family, I actually grew up into a musical family. My mother, she have 7 of us, 5 girls and 2 boys. And my mother's first child is a female. Her name is Hyacinth. I don't know if you ever researched Bim and Bam, 2 comedians.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Right.
Yeah.
Bim was her husband.
Oh, wow, okay.
And he produces his own show.
Okay.
And then she was the host for the show. She sing on the show. She's an actress, and she arranged everything for the show. But she's the first. I used to watch her dressing up, you know,
Mhm.
and I wish I could be like her. Although I'm a boy, but I
Hey,
always wish that I could be. And she's the first one that took me on a stage when I was like about 7 years old. And let me tell you something. Most singers in Jamaica started out dancing, not singing. Alton Ellis, John Holt, Delroy Wilson, all of us started out dancing, you know.
Mm.
And that's why I started out dancing with my youngest sister on the girl's side. My youngest sister on the girl's side.
Mhm.
And and the dub was the name Jack and Jill. Remember that nurse rhyme thing? Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a
Yeah.
pail of water.
Yeah.
Jack went and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. So they
Mhm.
gave us the name Jack and Jill. And every Monday night, I used to go to the Palace Amusement Theatre and my sister dance. And the whole entire place a mash up. You understand the part of it?
yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But then going to school and thing, I love singing, you know, because of my sister. And Boys Town as an institution for boys in Trenchtown. That's the only institution that actually got grants from other places over the world, other countries.
Hmm.
You know, and I used to go there because they have a lot of facilities that poor kids like us, because I didn't grow up into a fortunate family of such. You know, my father and mother struggled to take care of us, and they took care of us very well.
Mhm.
But I used to go to the after school. I used to go to Boys Town every evening because they have a piano, and it's a place for sports, you know, for cricket, soccer,
Mhm.
boxing. Because two of the greatest boxers that came out of Jamaica was Percy Hayes and Bunny Grant. And the first time that I've experienced them was at Boys Town. And I remember a cricketer, Frank Warrell and Garfield Sobers. The first place I've seen them was in Boys Town.
And did you play some cricket with them or
I wasn't a sport person,
no?
but I love to watch sports, you know. And then I used to fool around the piano and don't know nothing about it, but because the sound system plays such a great part in the development of Jamaican music, the sound system.
Right.
That's all we could listen to at one time. Because radio and all those things weren't available during that in the colonial days, you know.
Right.
Every family didn't have a radio. So I got familiar liking the piano in the dormitory. They have a dormitory and a piano right there, a piano.
Mhm.
And I used to go there in the evening after I leave school. And I used to fool around the keys because I can't play. But the music was in my mind so much because of the sound system. We get familiar with the blues and all that, you know. And I
Mhm.
used to do corner singing and all that too. Like every evening when I go to Boys Town and traveling to my home, walking to my home, I have to stop for these guys and most corners they'll stop me and say, Ken Boothe, sing me a Louis Prima song. You remember that guy Louis Prima?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
I used to love Robin Hood. Take it from me.
Okay.
You're right. And on my way home now, um, I used to pass by strangers' schoolhouse. Because we are living in government houses, you know, during those period, in those
Mhm.
days. And when I pass by strangers' house, I always hear singing. And I stop by and they don't know that I'm there listening, you know.
Mhm.
And gradually I find myself in the midst of it, you know. Thank God for that. Thank God for that, I tell you. And one day I was around the corner, because most singers, you know, do they singing around corner, back of the houses and all that, you know.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Mhm.
So I find myself in the midst of it, and one day I was there, I was there, and they were singing a song, and I'm feeling a little harmony, you know, because I don't know about Stranger Callers yet. I'm gonna see him, but never spoke to him or anything, you know.
Mhm.
'Cause where I stood up, you know, was like a distance from where they're singing. But while I was there standing up, I drop in a little harmony, you know, and Stranger look at me and say, but you can sing. Which part you live and all that? I'm sure him say, I'm like your neighbor because we live on the same street, you know.
Right.
in Denham Town, Kingston.
Mm-hmm.
And I got both of us becomes friends, you know. And I started to go there every evening and listen to Stranger and his group singing because Stranger were already a big star, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And he was singing with Patsy, and he
Mm.
was also a solo singer on his own, and he had a group. Now, when I met him, right, when I met with him, I started to go there every evening. And out there, Stranger writing some songs, and I would fill in a little harmony and thing. And then both of us started to write songs together. We wrote Artibella, we wrote Uno Dos First. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro,
Right.
cinco, seis. 6 long years, you leave my home. Come on back, 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 back to me. Oh, uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis. Years you leave me. Counting from 1 to 6, you know.
Dang.
Nice.
But it's a love song. And then when we finished writing that song, Stranger decided to took me to Duke Reid as Treasure Isle.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went there, I've done an audition, and well, they have audition, you know, where you sing the song, and if they like it, they record you.
Mm-hmm.
So when Duke Reid saw me and Stranger came inside, you know, it was kind of easy for me, you know, because of Stranger. You know, because when nobody don't know about you, it's not so easy to get into the studio.
But he was
Right.
already having hits, so he kind
But
of.
Srini already have a lot of hits, so it was really easy for me. And he told Duke Reid about me that I can sing. And Duke Reid probably told him that, well, carry him come now. I'm a career man. So when we
Right.
went inside, Duke Reid said, well, you carry this fat boy I go. You know, 'cause I was so fat them time when I was young. I was 15 years old and I was 15 years old.
So Duke Reid
Mm-hmm.
was not a polite man all the time, is what you're saying.
He's quiet, but when it comes to the next side of him, it's something else.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't so much, I kind of have a little shyness for him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Very shy, you know. But when he told Serena, both of us to sing the song, those days, you know, when a producer, when him hear the song that it's good, you know, you don't have to sing it out, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He just said to Stranger, took him to the studio, take him to upstairs. So when I went upstairs with people like Roland Alfonso, Tama Marco Brevet, and John Bago was a drummer those days. You ever heard of him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was a drummer, and
He's one of the creators.
and then, I forget the keyboard player, but I prayed. You know, because I've never done any recording.
It wasn't Jackie. It wasn't Jackie Matu.
No, it's not Jack. It was remember him again, man.
Was it
Aubrey?
He died.
Theophilus?
You know, he died. No, he died.
Theophilus Beckford? Was that
No,
him?
not Chapelos.
Oh.
Aubrey Adams. No.
No. I
No.
don't know quite remember his name. No, I always try to remember his name, but
Mm-hmm.
Is this ska days, right?
it's scared is there. But anyhow,
Hmm.
you know, come to think of it, I'm wondering if it's Aubrey Adams. You know,
Might be.
I
Yeah.
really think so. You know,
Yeah.
I think so. It was Aubrey Adams. Yeah, because I was a pianist in those days. You know, in Cecil. I want
Right.
them Cecil something. I don't quite remember. But when you know in those days, when the red light is on, you know, it's recording time, and I've never done any recording before.
Wow.
So when I look around and I see all these great musicians, I prayed. I said, Lord, take me through this, because I love singing, you know. And then you have to run down the song a couple of times because those days there's only 2 tracks,
Mm-hmm.
one for the singer and one for the musicians. So they didn't have a lot of tracks like now, you know.
How
Mhm.
well
So
could you hear yourself when you were doing it in that situation? Like now, you know, you can hear yourself and get your monitor right.
Right,
How well
because
could
we
you
didn't
hear
have
your
no earphone. We didn't have no earphone, you know.
No?
Mm.
Wow.
They have 2 little box set up in the ceiling, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's where we hear the sound from. Not too loud, you know, not too noisy or anything, you know.
So were you in a separate room then? So that wasn't. I'm trying to. So like it would be coming out of those speakers.
No. It's a musician and you have to record at the same time. So the guy that mixing the board, him have to really good, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because it's just 2 tracks, and the
And-
singers are coming through one, and the musician is coming through one.
And your monitor is, you don't have headphones. You're getting this.
The mic everybody, right? The mic everybody. But as I was telling you before, that I pray to go through this, And then when it's recording time, see that red light, it's like you have a little butterfly, because I've never experienced it before. But something, me and Stranger rehearsed so much that day was only one cut. After running the song a couple of times and the musician got the cards and all that, it was only one cut for Uno Dos. Yes, and
Wow.
yes, but Sir Coxsonne, I just hear you say something a while ago that the Motown, because the blues have a lot of influence on us. Because in Jamaica, we have an indigenous music they call the mento. That's what Scatterlight, fused together with the blues, and there comes the ska. But then when I finished recording these two songs we recorded, one song named IV, IVY, IV. Never heard it since I've recorded that song. I never heard it again. I don't
Wow.
know.
Wow.
But I fell in love with Studio One because of the quality of music that they're putting out. And the singers that they have around them were some great, great people. I used to listen to Owen Gray, Jackie Opel, Lascelles Perkins, Alton and Eddie. Because Alton weren't a solo singers yet. He was singing with Alton, with Eddie, Alton and Eddie. Right, and I fell in love with Studio One music. And Delroy Wilson were the star during those days. He was like he's just like Michael Jackson. Not
Wow.
like, he's just like Michael Jackson. Because Delroy was so powerful. From what about probably 9-10 years old, he's been singing and recording. And so I fell in love with the music. And there, as I said, Delroy was a star those days. But I fell in love with Delroy singing, "Go down Egypt, go and tell King Pharaoh to set my people free," And those have a lot of influence on me. So I woke up in the morning and I find myself don't have no bus fare or anything. Sometimes I scale. There was a college they called Calabar. I would walk and scale the wall and do the rest of walking to Studio One just to find myself at Studio One. And when I go there, I see people like Gailers, Whalers, Wilson, And as I said, and Owen Gray, Jackie, no, Owen Gray was a little bit before Delroy, and all that, right. But every morning I go there, most of the morning, and I sat down, and I'm making songs, and I'm making friends also with the Whalers, because none of us knew one another during those days,
Right.
It's because of the music. Thank God for music. God to bring people together,
Yep.
For sure.
And, you're right.
Ken, I want to talk about, because you mentioned it earlier, but when you talk about ska music, when I mean, one of the hits, the defining songs of ska music is Artibella. I would like you to talk more, like, what was the session like for that? Because that when you hear that song to this second, it's magical. Like there's energy in that recording. There's the energy that just
that song come about, Roger. There was a program in Jamaica, an Indian program. Because these people stick to their culture, Some people, stick to their culture. So they have this program every Sunday. I forgot what it named, something like a serenade. But the melody for the theme song were the Artibella melody, And I used to listen to this program, but I fell in love with the rhythm, the song. But it was all Indian language,
Right.
You can hear the Indian in it, right?
Nice, man. Yeah.
So I went to Australia and I said, no, I have this I love this song, the rhythm, we make some words of it. And here's come Artibella, we don't know who named Artibella. I never see Artibella in my life. Let me tell you, but that's the name that comes up, and Artibella, my pretty little darling, please come home to me. But that's the rock said the part, the ska part. Artibella, my pretty little darling, please come home to me. Chung, 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 chung. Artibella, I saw you with a fella, and I don't like the idea. Ba-da-da-da. Boy, it's Scatterlight that played it, you know.
Yeah.
Scatterlight.
Woo.
That's one of the best Loy Nibs tracks. The way he at the beginning, the way it's just like
People love that song all over the world. When I'm performing that song, the
Mhm.
whole entire show gets hot, very hot. Everybody's
I've
dancing.
seen it.
Oh
Oh,
yeah. I can't imagine the session going on without the actual musicians dancing. I mean, was that kind of how it was? I mean, you mentioned you guys
yeah. When
recorded
all
all
the
at the same
guitars
time.
get up on him guitar, man, ching, 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 ching. You know, let a
Yeah.
body move. You know. But
Right.
Reggie is the guy that actually bring in reggae. You know,
Yeah.
Reggie. You hear about Reggie?
Mm-hmm.
He's a
Yeah.
guitar player. Yeah, he's the one that play ching, 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 and ching, ching, and ching, ching, and ching. You know.
Mhm.
And,
Mhm.
and when that song released, you know, but me and Stranger went to Sir Coxsonne, you know, as a
Mhm.
duo first. Because as I
Right.
told you before that it was so easy for me because Stranger was already big. Sir Coxsonne was feeling good and he saw me and Stranger Cole coming to his studio.
Mhm.
And this is the way he's going to discover me, you know, Sir Coxsonne.
Right.
Because we did World's Fair. Took my girl to the World's Fair and let her choose all she need there. Now you choose, brom, brom, dum, brom. It's like I make all those things in my mouth and tell Roland to do it, you know.
Mhm.
Roland Alfonso. I make
Mhm.
up these things in my mouth like a tenor. Brom, brom, dum, brom. I told Roland and he played it, you know.
Wow.
And then we did Artibel after that. Light Nibs, Brevet, you know, everybody, you know.
And
And
were they easy to direct? Like the Scottalites at that point, you mentioned the hook for Artibella was, inspired. That melody you got it from the Indian thing, but like when you directed Tommy or Roland, were they accepting of it? Were they, or was it, or did they want to make it their own? How was
because
it?
most of the time they want to make it their own. They want to do that dance section,
Right.
but that they do for their own. But I'm a person who love horns, so I can make some horn sound in my mouth and set up an horn section. So it's I who do that, you know.
Mhm.
And then they played it, they recorded it, you know.
Ooh.
You mentioned making horn sounds with your mouth. When I listen to the tune "You're No Good," there's
Yeah.
there's no horns on that
You are
tune.
no good for what you have done. Ba-doo-doo-doop, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doop.
Yeah.
Ba-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doop. Ba-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doop-doop. Ba-doo-doo-doop-doop-doop. Ba-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Ba-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Ba-doo-doo-doo.
Yes.
Yeah, man. That
Oh,
is so
losing
great. It
you.
was on pause.
All right. He broke the internet. Broke the internet with
Yeah,
that.
man. The
See.
modem couldn't handle the melody. Ken,
Oh,
are
the
you with
moon.
this?
Huh?
Oh,
There you go.
sorry.
You stopped. You broke the signal went out for a little bit, but it
You
came
kind
on.
of froze up, but
That was
we
too
caught.
heavy.
Yeah, we caught the majority of the line.
So when I hear that song, I'm just like, I mean, that's what you're doing. You're singing the sax because ska is known for it's got horns and there's a saxophone solo in it. Whenever that one comes on, I'm just like, wow, Ken just told them, no, I got it today. Did you go into it saying I'm gonna sing the horn line or
Yeah, I do that. I sing it for the horn section.
Dang.
I blow it in my mouth for the horn section and they love me. Roland
Mhm.
Alfonso and all the horn section always love me, you know, because they know I can deal with horns
Mhm.
very good in my mouth. Yeah,
Mhm.
and Johnny Moore,
Yeah,
Jackie,
Dizzy.
you know, all of them love us. Not that me alone, you know, but during my journey, that's what
Mhm.
I've experienced, you know.
Right.
They are great musicians, you know.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
Dan Drummond's, you know, John Drummond's, I used to kind of scared of him, you know,
Hmm.
Oh,
because
wow.
he's so quiet. And the thing about Dan Drummond's, whenever he's going to took a solo, right? Everybody will be looking at him. All the musicians saying, "Who him don't come yet? Him don't come in yet." But you see him do come into the song. Oh my God, I tell you, boy, all those solo that you guys listening to now, those solos are like some offbeat thing, you know.
Mhm.
when him come out, have his hand in on his knee and his foot cock up like this in the chair. He, 'cause most of the songs that Don Drummond had done is original things, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Pam, 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 da, da, eng, eng, pam, 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 da, da, pam. He wrote those lines, you know. Those
Dirty.
music,
Yeah.
you know, yeah. Yeah, and he was in the asylum. That's where he wrote most of these songs. Because Sir Cox used to go for him in the asylum and took him to
Wow.
the studio, yeah.
I did
But
not know that. So can
yeah,
you
yeah,
elaborate? Can you elaborate on that? I thought my impression of it was that Don Drummond being an amazing trombone player, then went to the asylum and murder charges and all that. But you're saying that Coxsonne would go and pick him up?
right, yeah. I brought him
Wow.
to the studio, brought him back to the studio.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
right, right. But for
That,
me to get my break now, after me and Stranger went to Sir Cox and we did World's Fair and Artibella,
mm-hmm.
I still kept going there. Every day I sat down and
Mm-hmm.
I wrote songs. That's how I wrote the train, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Train is coming, baby. Even the harmony in the train is done by B.B. Seaton and Peter Tosh. Yeah, that's who done the harmony in the
Wow.
train. Yeah. But then one day I sat down outside and Sir Cox sent and called me. And he said to me, I wanted to do record, I wanted to record, you know. And I had so much doubts. The encouragement that Sir Coxsone gave to me during that period, I thank God for it. Because I said, you sure that I can sing? That's
Mm-hmm.
what I said to him. And I said, you sure, Mr. Dad, I can sing? And he looked at me and he said, Ken, I never heard anything like you. That's what he says to me. And that gave me courage. And he didn't start me out with ska music. He started me out with soul music. That's how he started me out.
Mm-hmm.
That's, and then I recorded a song called "Ooh Baby, I Love You." And with Amalia and her group, the Soulettes, they were the background vocal. They do the doo-wop days, those are doo-wop days.
Mm-hmm.
So when
Right.
I say, "Ooh baby, I love to go ooh ooh," But
Right.
Jamaican people started to identify the ska so much that when these two songs released, they done well because people started to identify the ska. So
Mm-hmm.
Sir Cox send me back in the studio again to do ska now. And I did people songs like I will forgive you, but I'll never forget. Now you come running back. Now you come running on the track
Yeah.
to me. And then I go in and do the danger zone.
Yeah.
Though you sit. Yeah, and some will pick it. We do a lot of adapted songs too,
Mm-hmm.
Because when go to America and brought back with him songs that Malcolm not for sale. And would give me the one that he chose for me, gave Delroy one. Even Puppet and a String were done by Sandy Shaw, English lady originally.
Mm-hmm.
And one day I was leaving Sir Cox's studio one, and Jackie came out and said, Ken, don't be carried this song. And him says, you for do it. That's why I got to get to do Puppet and a String, and that's why I got to do it. I wonder if one day that you say that you care, if you say you love me madly, I'll gladly be there. And that
Yeah,
song,
man.
when that song released, Sir Carson usually took the dub play to the dance and serenade it and watch the movements of the people with the song, and they didn't know what to release. So that
Wow.
night, he told me to meet him in Greenwich Farm at a dance. Guys, you're gonna took put it in a string there on a dub plate and see what the people react to it. So I went there and I stood up, and when they played Puppet on a String, they have to play it about 4 times straight. And every 6 sound that he played, have to play it back because the people went crazy about it.
Woo! You,
Mm.
talking about the sound systems, like I wanted to ask you about that because I don't think that audiences in America and even Europe really grasp how crucial the sound system has always been in Jamaica. And as somebody like yourself who not only was there in the ska and rocksteady days in the dance hall, but like hearing your own music, like rocking the dance, can you describe for us who can only read about those days, like what it felt like and looked like and sounded and smelled like to be in like a dance in ska rocksteady days?
Those days, it's like a musical war because Prince Buster, Duke Reid, and Sir Coxsone were the three main sound system in Jamaica. And then the selectors was like Count Stitch, Machuki, and a few more that I can't recall the name now. But you know, when you go, sometimes I go to a dance, right? To hear my song, and that night I'm not in the selection. You know, I have to go back home, and then I came back the next night somewhere else that I have this dance, and I'd go there and I hear my song playing. But sometimes you're not in the selection, so you hear other artist songs, you know. But I always can accept music anyway it comes to me, you know.
Right.
But you know what I thank God for? Music has no color, no race, no creed.
Right.
Music is universal. It belongs to all of us. And that's what I love about it. And it uplifts it uplift people's mind. It can give them a vision through music. Because a nation without a vision will perish, and music can uplift the mind. You know, that people think, you know.
Right.
But then
And
yeah.
you're so positive. One of the songs around that era that I really like, and is a song called "Live Good."
Yeah, good
I
song.
really enjoy. At the end of the song,
My friends, and you will live right to the end. Don't envy your brothers. That's what the book of Genesis says. Oh, well, one step down the highway, and you can find a lot of things coming your way. No, 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 no. Yeah, man, good song.
Jeez.
I love that because at the end of that song, you like really let loose, man, and start ad libbing.
I make that transaction too. Is I started that transaction and told them what to do, you know. Da da da. Da pa pa da. Is I make up that, you know.
Yeah, man.
That's heavy.
Ooh. Yeah.
That's so good. That's so good. So many, you know, I think like since we're going through songs, it's, you know, you're known globally for people who love Jamaican music as one of, you know, the top 2, top 3 singers from a pure like vocal standpoint. You know, people talk about Dennis Brown and Ken Boothe. Those are like the two that I hear all the time. But, you know, to me, I don't think you really get the credit you deserve as a songwriter, because some of these tunes, like especially in the Rocksteady era, like, you know, there's a tune called Come Tomorrow that's one of my favorite tunes. And
the song of the swallow would reveal my sorrow, then my dear, that's the song I would borrow. Then tonight you'd hear the saddest song of the year, and you'll be mine once again. Come tomorrow. You know, it's adapted song, you know.
is it?
It was the original by Manfred's Man, a white group. That's why I told you that music has no color.
Right.
You know, there's singers and players of instruments in every nation, in every generation. Thank God for music. And thank God for you guys. Because how can you do without the media? You guys have done so much for the music that we have to what? Respect you guys. Because if you don't hear your music on the radio, you don't feel like you're saying anything, you know. In Jamaica, those days, if you hear your tune on the radio, boy, some people come and say, Ken, you know, I just hear Heart Bella. You know what I mean? And uplift your mind, you know, and make you want to do it. Make you want to do music more and more, you know. So
Right.
I look at, and you have the so-called one too, you know, so-called one. Like the media, sometimes they don't print what the truth,
Right.
you know, and so, but thank God for the ones that actually speak the truth when they talk about you, you know, are printing anything about you, you know. But even in me, there is negativity in everybody, you know. No one is perfect,
Sure.
so I don't condemn anybody. I'm only speaking the truth. Some people is kind of bias. The bias, you know, they need to. When someone have talent, right? You should promote it. Doesn't matter what color you are. You have talent, don't fight it. Support it. And a lot of these people in the media, For instance, in Jamaica, right? That I'm sure of. You can give certain people a money and him just play bush. Him play this song, him just play something that them have no taste.
Mm-hmm.
It's like food, Food, you have to have taste. And you have some people who take money from people. They took money from people and play anything. Now, during my days, it wasn't like that. It was nothing but good music.
Right.
And some of these people, they don't really speak the truth about the music. And
Well,
some of them exploit us for their own benefit. Because I didn't know about this business until long, 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 long after I really ribbit into the business. I
mhm.
start to ask about, I get to find out that I gave BBC credit.
Yep.
But a whole lot of us know about this music, about our rights.
Mm-hmm.
Because I didn't know about Performing Rights Society. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know about a lot of companies that for instance, Phonogram, Sound Exchange. These people.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
PPL
musicians
and
too,
all
so
this.
we gotta deal with all that as well,
Yeah, right. So I thank God for these people too. But
Yeah, BB, we had BB on the show, and he had told us a story. And Devin, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but he mentioned a time where uh, he was taking a car ride, or he helped someone out, and the person he was helping out was the person that was kind of doing the books for Coxsonne. And so, in turn, the guy was cool with BB and told him pretty much what was going on, like what Coxsonne was making or whatnot. And then I think BB had a conversation with Mr. Dodd after that about like, well, wait a minute, man, the money's not right here.
yeah, because
Um,
we guys start to realize that we were not getting our fair share. But it's Sir Coxon, I would not say anything. I took back a lot of things that I said. I took it back.
mhm.
Because what he had done for us, I'm still surviving through that.
Hmm.
And when I look at it and see, he went to this farm work, farm work, where,
Mhm.
where and work, and the farm and all that.
Oh yeah, oh
He
yeah,
took, he took back his money and he invest this money into sound system business, into music business. Then he going further than that. He invest in a studio. You understand?
right.
And start to discover a lot of young people come from different eras and give them a break and that they could earn.
Hmm.
So, but although I don't got my fair share, but most of us, but what I got out of it, he tutor us, right? He make us become what we are today.
Right, right,
And I mean, it's a risk. Can you do
right,
business? You don't know what's gonna happen. But I think we play our part and we're entitled to a fair share. But I won't emphasize on that too much.
right.
Because
Definitely.
of what he had done for the
Hmm.
business. Him and Duke Reid make this
Mhm.
music becomes universal all over the world.
So true.
You know,
Definitely true.
so
I
I'm really
want to talk on something very very special that I think gets overlooked a lot of times. But in 1967, there was a tour that went on, and it was
yeah,
you, Mr. Elton Ellis, and the Soul Vendors,
right.
and
With
you guys went to the UK. Now, if
yeah.
I was there in person, man, I don't know what I'd probably faint. Because can you first tell us what the roster was going on that tour?
I mean, well, at Rasta.
The roster, the lineup of musicians, like
Oh yeah, Jackie Me too, Roland Alfonso, Light Brevet, and a young man they call what is his name again? In my head. But it was a young man there, way younger than the rest of us. And then you
mm,
have but Light Nibs didn't come with us because his paper didn't look about in time.
Mhm.
ah,
So we took another drummer with us. He just died a couple of months ago. His name is Bonnie Williams.
mm,
Because when I fall in love, that song, we're done in England.
hmm.
Yeah, he didn't record it in Jamaica.
I didn't know that. Wow,
When
that's a
I
that's a hit.
fall in love, it will be forever. 'Cause I'll never ever fall in love again. When I fall in love, there will be no other, only you and me. in this whole wide world. He's a friend of mine in England. He wrote a couple of lines and gave to me
Uh-huh.
because that title was originally done by Nat King Cole, you know. When I fall in love, it will be forever.
Right,
So he
right.
took that line out of the song, and then I put the rest.
Wow.
Way to do it.
You totally
It don't have much words, you know, but the melody, you know, and oh, we can't forget these songs, you know.
Oh.
Yeah, man. I mean, you made it your own. Same lyrics, but you definitely made it your own. I would have never made the connection, to be honest with you.
Because when I do that song anywhere over the world,
Mm-hmm.
people sing this song with me, you know. Yeah, they sing it with me. When I said, "When I fall in love," the whole audience, it will be. I mean, you hear that unison, you know,
Right.
coming from so many people.
That must be
Oh.
a great feeling for you every time. You know, it just must be like great energy from that.
When I'm on a stage, you know, you ever hear they say out of this world? When my adrenaline start working,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I have this spiritual concept within me that I don't, as I told you before, I don't see no color, no creed, no race. I see people. So I'm always happy when I'm on a stage, you know. Sometimes you feel a little sad because you're not getting what you want to hear sometimes. But it's there, and I work with it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go come out and say the band is no good and all that. I don't do that because probably might make a little mistake, but sometimes the people don't realize that.
Right.
So I
Right.
don't come up the stage and saying that the band no, I don't do that because it's music, you know.
Right.
And as I said before, no one is perfect.
And you're right
No,
about that. The audience members, as a musician, you're noticing, and as a singer, you know these songs inside and out, so you're noticing every little thing. But the people in the audience, they can't believe they're seeing Ken Boothe, and they're just so happy to be there. That the little mistakes, you're right about that. No one notices. They're just so happy.
I don't believe in color. You know, His Imperial Majesty Emperor Selassie. Until the color of a man's skin is of no more significance to the color of his eyes. That's why I have so much problems now. Because people looking at color and eyes. When you should look at the person. You should look at me and you. You must look at our eyes and our color. Because we are human beings. We are human. We are people. And you shouldn't bring color into it. I always say this on stage, you know. If me and a white man, right, apply for a job, it shouldn't be because of color. It should be because of the ability of the person. So if the white man have the ability for the job, give it to him. And if both of us have the ability, there shouldn't be no complex between us. You understand what I'm saying?
Well,
Yeah,
one
man.
day, what?
Yeah. So I don't believe in color. Because when I'm in Europe and I see the amount of people of different color that listening to us, you know, not just me alone, but other artists too. I really feel I awesome. It's awesome to me. And that's one of the words that you can describe any nice thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome, you know?
Yeah.
But so I don't believe in color. And you know, and white folks have supported us over the years. That's why I said color is not the answer. Music is universal. It belongs to all of us. And the thing about it, you know, everybody in this world have their musical culture. So if they like what you do, you should appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
If you like what another country do or what, like, oh, you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You need to appreciate these things because they could stick to their culture. Like the
Right.
Japanese and Europe and the whole. Everybody in every country that I've been to in Europe, they love reggae music, Jamaican music.
Let's touch on that a little bit because I know you mentioned, every culture has their music.
Yeah.
And me and Devin always talk about this, and Devin, you can elaborate definitely. But the little island of Jamaica coming up with their own identity, their own music, and how potent that was, how it affected the world and still does. It does that like no other music does, really.
Mm-hmm.
I never said our own as yet. I never said that yet because someone have to inspire you.
Right, true.
You see, somebody have to inspire you, so that's why I said we have indigenous music for our own.
Mhm.
That's a mentor. But the blues, because America was so much ahead of us when it comes to technology and all that. So they've been printing these vinyl for years with Louis Jordan, Roscoe Garden,
Mhm.
and you know what I mean, and these kind of people. So we learn a lot from other culture,
Mhm.
and you can fuse them together and bring out what you really and truly have inside of you. That's why I look at it.
You know what? Hearing the boogie woogie stuff, like you mentioned, Louis Jordan, and when it hit Jamaica, I as a fan of Jamaican music, I obviously you hear the similars. Unga, 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 you know, it's like
Oh yes, that's how we all started out.
but Rocksteady, when it hits Rocksteady, I really think there's a big leap in Jamaica saying, well, this is our own. Like this is something I can't think of any other pieces, musics around the world that sound like Rocksteady specifically. You know what I mean?
And you know what we really did, was to slow it down, the ska. That's all they're doing is to slow it down. Ska to Rocksteady, because it's slow and steady and soft, So from the chung chung to chung chung chung, you know what I mean? So.
But the bass, like in Rocksteady, the bass really went from those.
Bass to the bass line in Rocksteady music. Oh my God! Even now, the younger youth them in Jamaica playing them back,
Still
in other songs, Yeah. So we must give thanks, But most of all, I think we must give thanks for people,
right?
The people that supported us.
Speaking of Rocksteady, there's a tune here. We've got people, audience watching live right now, and I want to find it here. Oh, here it is. Someone, since you seem to be in a singing mood, someone says, "I'd like to hear Mr. Ken Boothe sing 'Moving Away.'"
In every part of me, I can feel you're moving away, baby. I can feel you're moving away, baby. In every way, so many ways. I've got the power, lead you through life. Good song, and it's adapted song too. This song is an adapted song too.
So good.
Did you come up with the melody too? The bum 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 bum.
No, that was who do that? Vin Edwards, that blew trombone.
Yeah, Vic Gordon. Yeah,
he's the one that comes up with that. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
But these songs help us a lot when it comes to people to know who we are,
right?
Who we is and things. These songs done a lot for us, although they're adapted songs, and we do them different, We try to put ourselves into them, and and these songs is like wine, vintage wine,
Right.
Just gets better with age, right?
With age, yeah. I want to before you're going further. I'm 72 now,
Wow.
I'm 72 years old now, and I'm singing 56 years. I'm in this business. I've never done anything. I love singing. I love to sing for people. I love to entertain people. That's the sweetest part of my life. My journey. Like I've done a song the other day. I just released an album for myself. I'm doing this interview from my studio, It's my studio that we are doing the interview from.
I can see on the ceiling you got the
because I had a song named Journey. Don't be afraid to walk that walk. Don't be afraid to talk that talk. When you start a journey, don't turn back. You'd be wasting your time. Just keep going. Someday you're going to find your peace of mind. No matter what they say or do, I know Jah will see you through. Journey. All that bass line. Doom, dum, doom. Doom, dum, doom. Doom, dum, doom. You know how I got that bass line? I was in Canada. Where I get the melodies, a good friend of mine, but I wrote the words for it. Because the original melody sung by a guy in Canada that kept a show with us. He kept a show with us, but it was summer, and I said journey. So I give him the right still.
Okay.
The melody, yeah, right. But as I said before, people inspire people.
Right.
It's like right now, what is happening in this world is this COVID thing. I just pray to God that it will be over soon, that we can go about and do the things that we love to do. Because, I wrote this song for this purpose and didn't realize it. New World Order. You ever heard my version?
Of which one?
New World Order. I've done a song on my latest album.
I haven't heard it, no.
Said, open your eyes. Can't you see what's happening in the world today? People are suffering. and no one seems to care. You're going to see changes that you've never seen before. Nations against nations, and no one understand. But we must realize it's the new disguise. It's the new world order. You know? Yeah.
Nice,
Wow.
heavy.
Yeah, man, yeah.
Wow,
But
man.
I think it is relevant right now for to what is happening in this world, this beautiful world that
Hmm.
God gave to us. All the leaders of the world must take a look. That's what one of the verse say now. Leaders of the world, take a look at yourselves. Too much selfish emotions and thinking of nobody else. Children are the heritage, young ones are the tower. And love and love and love is the power. It's the new world order, you know.
Wow,
Must
Nice.
be a
man.
man.
Ken, j-
Open your
you,
eyes. Can you
you
see the new world order?
you can make an album of just you a cappella, and I'd
And
buy it.
funny enough, Roger, I wished for certain things when I was young,
Hmm.
and I'm getting them done now. Cause what my family that I grew up in, they used to sing American music. My sister,
Hmm.
they sing jazz and blues,
Wow.
and I love it also. Music is music, you know. I don't
Right.
love no particular music, but I stick to my culture.
Hmm.
But I don't love no particular sound. 'Cause from it's good, it's good. So
Right.
I just completed a soul album, you know.
Wow.
Yes, yeah. I've done a blues song. Blues with the feeling. That's what I had to do. Blues with the feeling. That's what I had to do. Since my baby puts me down, Lord, I'm so all alone. Ba da 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 da.
Wow.
Ba da.
Ooh.
What a lonesome feeling. But that's what I had to do. Oh, babe, what a lonesome feeling. But that's what I had to do. Since my baby puts me down, Lord, I'm so all alone. Ba da 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 da. Prada. You can hear the blues, you know?
Yep.
Right, man.
Yeah,
Where can
yeah.
people get this new music? Is the new music out already? Is it on
No, so
Spotify?
it's not out of yet. I'm preparing the album now.
Wow. I can't
Mm,
wait, man.
yeah, yeah.
Do you have a name for the album yet, or is it still being decided on?
I'm still checking it out 'cause I don't want to give it a positive name, you know? Something,
Right. Right.
something that is for everybody.
Right.
It's
And
kind of it's kind of 60s sound, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, from the
Mm-hmm.
50s, the blues, and then I fuse it with a couple of songs that I wrote, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really looking forward to it because I've been doing this album for about 4 years now, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, because the musicians that I accompany me.
Right.
For instance, Benjamin Myers is the arranger, and I
Okay.
got musicians from the School of Music. We got them for reggae too, but you have certain musicians that cater for this kind of sound,
mhm.
Right.
jazz and blues, and so it's really awesome. I tell you, but I don't like to talk about myself when it comes to what I've done in recording business.
What?
I know when you say, so I'm praying for it to come out now that you can hear it and tell me what you think about it. You
Right.
know?
Well,
Yeah.
For
Mm.
sure.
well, I mean, your music's 10 for 10 because, like I said earlier, uh, you can play a live show and still not play all the Ken Booth hits. I'm sure you have shows where people come up to you
You know, you know,
requesting
you
songs.
you know what
Eh,
I tell people all the while. I know what I told people all the while. I can sing for 1 year and don't stop. 1 year.
I believe it.
Nothing but my song.
I
You know,
believe
you
it.
know, Raja and Devin. You know that I hear a song. Someone sent an album from a CD, a Ken Boothe classic.
Hmm.
And I hear this song, and my wife was listening to it on the veranda. And my wife said to me, "Who that them put on your album?" And I said the same thing. I said the same thing to her. And that time is me when I was quite young. A song
Wow.
said, "When you haven't seen me walk away and heard me, no, when I haven't seen you walk away. Something like that. And heard you beg me stay. Babe, please go, please. Something like that. I don't remember the words sometimes. Because sometimes the words of our song, because you're not singing the song for quite a time, kind of fade out of your mind. I
Yeah.
went to the bellies, right? I went to the bellies. Because every country have their own song that they identify with, And I went to
Right.
the bellies, and the song that they identify with, I didn't sing it for years, Roger and Devin.
Wow.
This song, this song is me on BBC and wrote it too, Oh, it's been such a long, long time. We've been moving behind time, working every day and night, trying so hard to make things right. Children having children, can't you see that this is just reality? So beat the drums of freedom. That's the song they love in Belize. So you know what I did? I went into my hotel room and I lay down. And that's the only thing I've been singing the whole day to remember the words. I never remember the words. When the show, and I perform it, I still don't remember a couple of lines.
Right.
But they were dancing, and because that's a song they want to hear,
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank God for music,
You know
thank
what's
God.
one of the songs I really really gravitate towards is well, there's two. I want to mention both of them, and maybe you could talk about both of them. The first one is another Studio One tune called "Be Yourself."
Yeah.
That tune, and the other one is, I believe
You
it's a
know,
key. Oh yeah, when you talk
you
about "Be
know who wrote
Yourself,"
that song? You know who wrote that song?
who?
Keith Hudson.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
really?
Seeing that I'm not follow fashion, you don't like me. I'm gonna be myself for nobody else. Say what you want to say now. Do what you want to do now. But I'm going to live my own way. Seeing that I'm not follow fashion, you don't like me. And sometimes people experience these things.
Yeah.
Probably because you don't follow someone their way, they
Mm-hmm.
probably shun you. But I don't know if it's something else why he wrote that song. I don't know if it's because of his fault or what, but I know I sang it.
That's such a great one, and that Studio One
Yeah.
rhythm, that bring,
Oh, yes.
bring, bring, bring,
Yeah,
bring,
right.
bring,
Ba-ba-da-ba-da.
oh, it's so good. And
You,
the
you know,
who
who play bass into that song?
who
Leroy Sibbles.
Leroy Sibbles is one of the great bassists, man. He doesn't.
Leroy played, a lot of songs Leroy accompanied me with, Mm.
I've got this. You've mentioned a couple people. I don't know if you remember this show from the Hollywood Ska and Reggae Festival in Los Angeles. This was 2006.
Yeah, I
I've got
remember.
you because Roger and I were playing in the band that backed.
It was
Leonard-
you guys.
Yeah.
No,
I'm
not
looking at
we.
you.
Well, we weren't playing with you. I was at your rehearsal, but our good friends were playing with you. But we were
But I've
backing.
seen you guys before.
Yeah, we were backing Leonard Dillon, the Ethiopian, at
I
that
know
show.
I've seen you guys before. I know that, yeah.
And then Leroy
That's
Sibbles was
funny.
there.
It kind of bothered me, I'm saying, where have I seen these people before?
And that was
You
one of
know
the
that-
highlights. One of the highlights of my life was seeing
Oh, coming from my heart.
you that night, Ken Boothe, and then Stranger Cole was there, and you guys did Artabella together, and that was like such a special moment on stage to see that.
And you're reminding me of that now because I don't quite remember that me and Stranger have done it. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
he was.
it's me and Stranger, when both of us know each other so much when it comes to singing, that I can look in his eyes and know when to take the lead.
Mhm.
And you look in my eyes, you know when to take the harmony. Because when me and Stranger singing, we sing both lead and harmony. Him don't just sing harmony all the way, We switch. That's how we do it. We switch. Yeah. So he would took the lead, and I would took the harmony at times, and then we switch back again.
That's
Stranger is a genius, He's a genius. I'm telling you, he's a genius. Yeah.
and he's one of the. I mean, we've been blessed to meet a lot of the old the artists from those days, and Stranger's one of the coolest just to hang out with. He was there at the rehearsal, just drinking his old English can, and it was just it was great.
There's no week that passed probably that we don't talk together.
Nice.
Because we love each other so much.
Mm-hmm.
I call him my brother, and him call me his brother. So what, my brother? I'm so what, my brother? We see one another as family, as a family, you know.
Well, you got to do a next tune.
Eh?
It's time to do another tune together, I think.
And you know, I've done some song with me and him album for this guy.
Okay,
But I never heard the album since I've
that's a
done it,
shame.
you know. Yeah, never
That's
heard
a
it.
shame.
Well,
But yeah, go ahead.
you mentioned Keith Hudson, and that was the other song I wanted to ask you about was I believe it's a Keith Hudson production called "Old Fashioned
Old
Way,"
fashioned
right?
way. Now
Yeah.
that my baby has gone away, this has give you the privilege to come and stay. But oh no, not in that old fashioned way. It's a big song, you know. People love it. Sometimes I will be on a show and people say, Ken, why don't you sing that song? Never heard it. You know?
That's so true, though. Like I said, many hits. I mean,
It
I
was
love
a repertoire of songs during that time.
around that time. Was that was that before or after Leslie Kong stuff that you did, like Freedom Street and
Well, you know what we were saying before about our rights. We realize that we're not getting what we're entitled to
mm-hmm,
when it comes to royalty and our rights. So we move on
mm-hmm,
and we move to Beverly's
right,
and we do some independent recording too, you know. Right, but Beverly's is when we leave Sir Coxsonne, we went to Beverly's.
mm-hmm.
And he was so happy to see us, me, Whalers, gay lads, Delrawers, and all of us went there together because we moved together and we love each other, you know. So we were like a family. And I remember when I went there, I did Freedom Street album, and Bob do again, and Delroy do. Put yourself in my place, one of them sound about. And then,
Yeah,
those days when we have Jimmy Cliff, and he had
right.
Desmond Decker, Derek
Toots.
Morgan. No, didn't have Toots set.
Oh, not yet. Okay,
No, I don't think so. No,
but that sound is so
I
distinctive.
Toots is going to be missed. You know, Toots
Oh
the
man.
bird is going to be missed. I love him so much. You know,
Is
one of the time I wish I was like him. You know, when I was younger. You know, yeah.
is
He's going to say,
the song "Keep My Love from Fading Away"? Was that a
oh,
Leslie Kong thing or
yeah, Leslie Kong.
okay, Leslie
Keep
Kong?
my love from fading away. Let it stay. Keep my love from fading away. I don't quite remember the words.
Ooh, it's a hit, man.
Tell
That's
me
one of
that
those.
you love me and there's no one else above me, and that is all right with me. Sometimes the words them don't come to me, but
Oh
I
yeah,
remember. You can it for you like what I'm doing now.
That's so man.
right.
But I love music, you know, I love it, and I'm not like what I used to be before in performing, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm, you know, certain things come with age, you know. I realize that I saw my mother go through it and my father. You know, I'm the only one out of my family that is here on earth now, you know.
Hmm.
All my family, you know, depart, you know. But I'm still here and I do what I do best, music, what I love to do, and to entertain people like you, and to have this interview like this with people like you. I enjoyed it, you know. I'm enjoying it, you know.
It's our pleasure. It's an honor for
Yeah,
us.
you know, when you people have done so much, you know, for us, musically speaking, and show that love, that musical love, that is higher than any other love for me. 'Cause love without music will never exist for me, you know. And
Right.
that's my opinion and with music. Like it's like a movie without a soundtrack.
Hmm.
True.
I don't think I'd want to look at it. The
It's so
soundtrack
true.
make you want to make you want to look at the movie. And I'm a movie person, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And certain soundtrack can frighten you to make you know, because it sounds so like a horror movie or
Right.
What's your favorite movie?
action
Action.
and karate. I love
Ooh.
martial arts.
Nice.
I love to see the China guy boop 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 boop.
Nice.
Philip. I love to see these guys you know, I think the only real movie on TV is a karate movie.
Mm-hmm.
Although they're not licking each other, but it's like gymnast, you know. like gymnastic, you know.
Right.
All these, you know, them spinning over and all that. Those things are real, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
And I admire that, you know. Yeah, but the music, cause while they're doing this, you know, cha 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 cha, you know what I mean? The music is what uplift anything in this world. Music can make the sick on the bed rise up out of the bed, you know. Music can do that, and that's why I love music. And the main one is that music has no color. For me, it had no color. All the singers and players of instruments shall be there.
Mm-hmm.
All my springs are in thee. The living God that sent us here. Love music. I'm quoting the Bible now, and
Yeah.
I know they fabricate it, but
No, I know.
it's a
Yeah.
good book. It's a good book to read, but they fabricate a lot of it. But you know, these things are true. All the singers and players of instruments shall be there. All my springs are in thee. There's nothing beautiful more than that for me. Meaning people doing it, not just because you sing professionally. It means people. Yeah, it's people. When I look at it, the relevancy of it, it's people the Bible telling you about. Because everybody sing. Tell me who don't sing. You sing, me sing. You might
So
don't
true.
you might don't take it for a professional thing. But sometimes you're in your car and you're humming a song.
Right.
You know, so it's not really the singers that took it professionally. I'm talking as people, you know. Yeah, that's how I look at it, you know.
Yeah. I'm in my car singing Ken Boothe songs, you know.
Exactly.
You
I'm over.
understand? Yeah,
Yes,
so nobody
definitely.
really understand. Just
You're
like that. You know?
you're creating the blueprint and the soundtrack for many people's lives, you know.
Yeah.
Oh,
And like I said, you know, growing up, listening, first discovering Jamaican music, having that album was so important because, you know, I'm
This one.
discovering,
Yeah.
yeah, that's the album Devin has, and I had a long time ago.
Mr.
And
Rock, or more of Ken Boothe, which one not?
A
as
Man
I,
and His
I'm,
Hits.
A
It's a
man on
studio.
the street. Yeah, man
Yeah,
on the
Studio
street.
One reissue. This was for Roger and for Roger and I both. When this came out, you know, in the late '90s, right around the time we had, you know, been into Jamaican music for a few years, but we're still
right.
learning about who's Ken Boothe, and that was the first
What
one.
did I sign that?
No, this one you didn't
Oh,
sign,
okay.
but I do have you signed here on this
Yeah.
poster.
Oh,
You said there will be no freedom until we get peace.
Of
Ken
course.
Boothe.
beautiful.
There will be no freedom until we have peace.
That's
You know,
beautiful.
I have a new song just came out in England. What is man to be so unruly? Who is man beyond the space and time? What is man beyond the control? With barriers are extending borders. You know,
You wrote
there
that song?
is a friend of mine in England. There is so much confusion. There will be a retribution. We must find a solution. There's got to be a revolution. Shock waves, terror, so much disorder, economic starvation beyond all borders. Balance your decision or reap what you sow. Man beyond control. And I'm not singing it for you, I'm humming it.
Wow,
Wow.
that's great.
But the words are so relevant in this time, you know.
And this is unreleased as well.
I think they released it in England, you know. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. So okay, it's unreleased.
You can research it on the internet and see
Oh,
if it's
beautiful. Okay, I thought
We
this
gotta
was some
look
new
for that.
music.
Hey, you know,
Yeah,
it just crossed my mind, and I want to make sure we get this question in. Roger, you had a tune that you wanted to
Oh
ask Mr.
yeah,
Ken Boothe
man.
about.
Yes, yes. We got to get this in. We're gonna jump back to the early days, and the tune is called "Whiny Whiny." When the tune
oh,
starts, it's so and you're
like
talking
a
about
crossover.
the bass and the guitar, the unison.
God.
Dun, 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 dun.
Everybody, 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 everybody. Miss Rich whiny, 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 come wine with me. Miss Rich whiny, 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 come dance with me. But I do remember some of it.
That's it.
Ooh,
Come skank,
Oh,
skank this tune with me. That one.
you
that's
hear that?
heavy.
And come skank, skank, skank. this tune with me.
Ooh.
Oh, you guys reminding me of that song. I never have it in my thoughts.
That's a heavy song.
Video. And
That's a
these
song.
are about dancehall music, them, in the dancehall, Yeah, yeah. Mm.
Man,
bad.
I could only
And
imagine that.
all the people that is watching your program, I want to say hi to all these people in California. I
Hmm.
just want to say hi to them, because thanks for your support over the years. You have
Are there
supported.
any more
Thank you
questions,
very
Devin,
much.
from the audience? Okay, we were trying to see if they have questions for you, Ken.
Yeah, there's
Eh,
people.
eh?
Our buddy here, Alberto, he says he wants to know if you have any memories of Sister Mary Ignatius Davies. Isn't she
Mary-
Alpha Boy School?
Oh, of course, of course. Yes. She. We must give thanks for this lady. This woman give of herself to make a lot of musicians be what they are today. What they is today, you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of musicians that they graduate out of Alpha, Him Tony Gregory are singers too, you know. Sometimes I sat down and I said to myself, why didn't I get into that school? But you have to be some kind of weirwood child to get into that school,
Mhm.
somebody who parents can keep up with your actions and all that. But they
Mhm.
send you to that school. But Sister Mary, no one must forget. She will never be forgotten. Never, never, never. Not that lady, never.
I
Mm-mm.
know, man. Talk about one person having such an
She has
influence.
done so much for the music.
Yeah, good
You
question.
have to give her praise,
Yeah.
Mm.
Are there other ones in there? Other questions? I'm trying to
Yeah, we're
scroll
seeing
through
if
these
we're seeing if
questions.
our live audience has some
Live
questions for you.
audience, this is your time.
If anybody has
Jump in.
some more questions from Mr. Booth, this is the time. But yeah, this the other tune, I know my friend Colin Giles, who I know you've met here in LA. He loves to always sing. He's a singer and he loves to sing "Rasta Never Fail Me Yet."
Oh, it was produced by Light Chalmers.
Yeah.
Light died in England, right?
Mm-hmm.
He died,
Right.
He never fails I yet. He never fails I yet. Rasta never fails I yet. For everywhere I go, I want the world to know. Rasta never fails I yet. He gave us peace and love. Oh,
That's
I
beautiful.
remember lady,
Jeez.
So good. And so let's see, Daniel.
It's a lady produced some.
No, go ahead. Uh-oh.
Oh, he
we-
froze up.
I think you froze. We'll give it a second. It'll come back.
From my
Yeah.
eyes, remembering Light Chalmers,
I love Lloyd Charmers. Great, the organ work
Chalmers,
is. Yeah.
Chalmers, he produced everything I own. Everything I own album. He's a producer, and the songs that he chose for me, right, are songs that he really know about me, that I can sing these songs. Just like
Mhm.
Sir Coxsonne. He is Sir Coxsonne to me.
Were they good?
after-
Were they good in that sense? Like they knew what song Ken Booth would
Eh?
be good for. You know what I mean?
They
They
might
knew.
ship out, come fix it.
Oh, is the connection weird?
Yeah, it's getting.
You get it?
Can you hear me, Ken?
No, I'm forgetting. Come here, Georgia.
Yeah, man.
Stop
Can you hear me?
doing my-
There it is.
Yeah.
I think-
Check.
Mm.
Are we back? Yes.
Yeah, this
No.
is the.
Yeah, they're back now, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah?
there it is.
You could.
But I
Yeah.
was saying about Chalmers,
Yeah. Was it like that though? Was Coxsonne and Lloyd Charmers like they knew that this would be a great Ken Booth song, and they were kind of giving the direction on what rhythm and what cover song would go good with your voice?
You see, when it comes to ears, these people have good ears. Sir Coxsonne, and a whole lot of producers out here. But I can swear for Coxsonne and Light Chalmers, they produce quality music. That's what, and other producers too, right? I'm not fighting down anybody, but they really show that they have interest into the music, not just for the music sake alone, but for the artists, the musicians, I like to go on my miss,
Mm-hmm.
Because when I had the number one song in England, everything I own, the follow up were done originally by a group that he had, a duo. Charmers. That's when we got that name, you know. There was
Mm-hmm.
two of them, Charmers. And then the follow-up song was one of Charmers' song, Crying Over You. Crying over you in the morning, crying over you in the evening, crying over you. Don't know what to do. Ah, you make me feel ashamed. People say it's all in the game. You know, good song. It went number
Mm-hmm.
11. It went
It's a
number
great.
11 in the British chart. 11.
Oh
Actually
man.
going to the top 10, yeah. Mm. He's a good
Yeah.
producer. Very good. Very good.
Love that.
And then in 90, you know, 90,
Yeah, The
Yeah.
Observer.
Silver Words, baby, I'm not joking.
That's a tune.
It's not what I'm smoking.
Yeah.
I really think you're nice. Well, so when I'm doing a dub plate now,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I do a dub plate with that now. Sound boy, you're joking. Your lap,
Yeah.
you hear this now? Hear this. Boy, you're joking. Your laptop is smoking. We're going to dust a little sound tonight.
Wow.
I have to
That's
give you
so
a hint
good.
because to be frank with you, I want to big up our sound system all over the world. Because right now, entertainment is not doing so well
Mm-hmm.
in Jamaica. And the sound system, their input is so wonderful because dub plate is what is actually keeping some of my upliftment right at this moment. Dub plate.
Mm.
Dub plate is a thing because the sound system sent from all over the world, like they know what's happening. I don't know that singers and players have instruments that making much money now. So they play their part, and I have to appreciate it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have to appreciate it. Like what you
Absolutely.
guys doing right now. I'm not doing this for just money. I'm doing this because what you guys have done for us over the years, it's awesome. You see, this is the word awesome when I use it so often.
Yes.
When you say awesome, it sounds so wonderful and a lot of beauty in it, and you know.
Full of
Mm-hmm.
awe.
Oh,
Well,
know.
that's how we feel about you. And our good friend Persephone wants to know if you can talk about recording the acoustic album.
You mean in the yard?
I think so, with Chinna Smith, right?
Yeah, China, yeah, in the yard. But no, China didn't accompany us, you know. We go to Europe on a tour.
Okay.
But that's another, it makes a difference because that's the original sound.
Mm-hmm.
The mic, it, you know, but the instrument not going through no amplifier direct,
Right.
you know. So, because I've done this song, let the teardrops fall, let the teardrops fall, let the teardrops fall from your eyes. You never miss the water till your well runs dry, till your well runs dry. Sisters and brothers, now that you're all alone and you have no one to call your own, you're taking up your telephone, begging me to come home. But listen, my friend, I'll never make this mistake again, 'cause you don't need me as a friend. And so let the tears, you know, and it's doing
Mm-hmm.
good, you know, it's doing well in Europe, yeah, doing good.
Nice.
But you know, I've been on shows with the yard that I've seen little kids singing that song. Little kids like, because the parents took them to the show,
Right.
and they're right up front. And when I started to sing that song, you see the kids them singing it too, and they are nothing
Wow.
but like this. They could babies, 5 years old, 6 years old, and or 7. So you know,
Wow.
That's
it,
amazing.
really amazing. You know,
That is. I mean, you must get that a lot. These moments of just wow or this epiphany. You know, you're playing these live shows, and some of the live shows I've seen on YouTube. You know, you'll be in Mexico or some places around the world where you can't even sing your own songs
no
because
people sing it with them.
they're singing it for you with you.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Does that feeling ever get old? I mean, it is. Is it just wow?
You know, I'm never tired of singing and entertaining people. You know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I always say that music is love. There's a song I've done a couple years ago. Love, 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 love is the ultimate. Love, 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 love it can recreate. Love, 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 it can set us free from this world of pain and misery. People black, yellow, and white, just truly made us to his delight, to blend together in harmony and feel this love in you and me. Brothers and sisters, we are his creation, looking for a peaceful resolution. Yes, this demand our close attention to seek a one love solution, looking for a love connection that will join every nation. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Good message for all of us. Yeah. It shows
Course.
no color, no race, no creed. I love that song.
It's a
You
great
know?
song.
Yeah. So when I look at people, I don't see color, you know? And because music has none. All of us are singers and players of instruments. All of us.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a question here from Daniel, and he wants to know what you remember about the festival days, the festival competitions, and
The what days?
the festival, each year the festival days with the singers
In
entering.
Europe? In Europe?
No, in Jamaica, and like the days when you would have a festival tune.
I mean, like Sunsplash.
I think he's referring to like how like Toots won the festival competition one year.
Oh, you mean the festival? Oh, you know that the first festival I entered in the first festival.
Mm-hmm.
You know the song I sang?
Which one?
And they didn't choose it. I sang, there is a land of pure beauty where blessing awaits for us all. And if your heart is clean, I know you will redeem in the land of the black, gold, and green. It is a land that is holy, the holiest land you'll ever see. And if we unite as one, I know we can understand about the land of the black, gold, and green. It's a big song this in Europe, you know.
Huge.
When I see it, oh,
The intro horn line.
pra-da, pra-ba-da-ba-da, pra-da-la-da, I make that, you know. I make it with my mouth.
That's
Yeah.
killer right there.
And then I gave it to the honor section.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing a show where in where in one of those countries in Europe, and there was a choir, right? That rehearsed it with me to do it on my show in the night.
Mm-hmm.
About 20 of them. If you ever hear that choir with black, gold, and green, you know, man, it was a good experience for me, you know. I tell you. But that song was entered in the festival. But Tuss was the one who dominated the festival, and Eric Donaldson.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then you have many more, you know, many more guys that won the festival song with the festival song. But it had done a lot for Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
Because the whole world want to know who is the number one, who win the festival and all that, you know?
Right.
Who won it, and so. Mm.
And it's a unique thing too, because I can't think of any other genre of music where, because you have those songs that were not only entered in the festival, but written about the festival. You know, it says festival in the name, and then like we're listening to it, 30, 40, 50 years later, and I still like those tunes, and I don't know anything about festivals.
But there are songs, there are music, there are songs because they made them for a particular time.
Mm-hmm.
Because of a festival, but what you want them, for that time I'm going to play it. It's music. Bum bum, what a bum bum. Oh, yeah. I like that. Who love a song like that? A song like that? Because
Right.
the melody is nice and wonderful. So, yes. But I'm not a singer that carry jealousy with me too. Like professional jealousy. I don't do that because it's not me alone that is singing. That's why we said all the singers and players of instruments shall be there. Not no singer, but singers and players of instruments shall be there. All my
Right.
spirit are in thee. So I know how to take in Toots. I know to take in John. Because sometimes at my home here, all I play, I don't play my music much, you know. I play other people.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes I feel kind of funny, like playing the song all the time, you know. I
Right.
don't
Right.
like to do that. Yeah, I'm like to listen to other people too, you know.
Right.
I'm like that. And I listen to American music also. I listen to music from all over the world. I don't no particularly sound.
Right.
Sometimes I'm in Europe. I have a lot of albums that I got out of from people in Europe,
Mm-hmm.
and I play them on my set. Some of them
Wow.
in French, some of them in German, you know. But they
Wow.
gave me them as for promotion, you know. And I
Right.
play them, you know, because it's music. You don't have to know the words, you know. You don't have
Mm-hmm.
to. It don't have to be English for you to understand what is happening, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's music. Music. It's only one language, you know. Music
Right.
has only one tongue.
Did
Everyone can understand it. You see.
did you
Right.
have a did you have a contemporary of yours? Sometimes you talk to Jamaican singers and they'll say, oh, like Dennis Brown was my favorite, or Bob was my favorite, or Justin Hines was my favorite. Did you have somebody that was a contemporary of yours that in the 60s or 70s maybe you were like, wow, this is
Yes,
my
yes. My first inspiration was Owen Gray.
all right.
You heard about Owen Gray?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Ska music
When
legend.
he was singing, "Please let me go when I hold your hand. I love you so. We both together. Don't let me go." I used to do that song for people on the street, you know. They would stop me and say, "Ken, simply let me go. Don't let me go for me." Yeah, Owen Gray. I remember when Owen Gray, right, were the top singer in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
He had a program they called the Opportunity Knocks. When opportunity knocks at your door, right? And
Mm-hmm.
he was singing a song like Kansas City, here I come. You know my song?
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
I used to watch his other guys who want to get into the theater. I used to watch them fight over his fly pack just to carry it in the theater to get to go inside.
Wow.
Yeah. I used to watch, and I wish I was him. I watch guys fighting for his fly pack, you know, because anybody with his fly pack going in free.
Right.
Anybody with
That's
his
so good.
fly pack gone right inside. He's a great inspiration for me, anyway.
Wow. That's a
And I
good
have
one.
many more. I don't have
Wow.
no directly singer because all of them are great people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people get title, right? Title, you know.
Mhm.
Like how Bob get King for reggae, Dennis Brown get Crown Prince.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
It don't stop them from being who they are, you know. What
Mr.
they're about.
Mr. Rocksteady, right? Isn't that one of your titles, Mr. Rocksteady?
You know, I know I don't believe in title. I don't know why. Because some
Okay.
people get
Okay.
out of hand. Some people
Right.
get out of hand with title. They don't know how to treat the fellow man because they are king this and king that and prince this. They
Right.
get out of hand. I believe in my fellow men. My fellow men come first, not singing. Because it's people who have to sing. Music doesn't come on the tone like that. It's out of people singing, come on the birds and the bee. You know, so what should I boast about or I conceited about?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
No, not like that.
that's an admirable sentiment, but you'll always be Mr. Rocksteady to us, no matter
Yeah.
All
what.
right, that's what I'm telling you. When people said Mr. Rock said, I feel no way about it. I
Mm-hmm.
accept and appreciate it. But
Mm-hmm.
don't go around promoting myself, you know, like, you know who I am? I am Mr. Rock Steady. I want people come out to me or anything, man.
Right. Right.
No. I
Right.
think simplicity means a lot, you know.
Yeah.
Simplicity means a lot. I think the simpler man is better for him.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't want to be a singer entertainer who's hard to get to. No, like some singers in the dressing room, you know, the dressing room, they choose who to come in and who to go out and all that. I don't do that.
Right.
When I'm in my dressing room, people come and go because if it's so small that everybody can hold. I said, I well, love my brother, you know, and I'm gone, another person come inside. I don't shun people. I don't do that.
This is true. I have, like I said, I've been at a couple shows with you about 10 years ago in playing in some other bands, and I remember that very thing. I remember you sitting there and just a crowd of people kind of talking to you, and you being very very cool with everyone.
What else can you do?
Well,
People who come to support what you are doing. Why you want to shun them?
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe in that. I enjoy doing that, talking to people like I enjoy talking to you, I enjoy it, not just talking to you for anything that matters. Nothing else matters, but to know that I'm in your presence. And you guys are musicologists who have supporting the music over the years. So tell me something. Must I give thanks for that? You tell me. That's why you give thanks for my singing. I must give thanks for what you're doing for me too. Equal rights and justice. Even in the music, you must have equal rights and justice,
Yeah.
Man.
It's a reciprocation, and it's especially now, like right now when we physically, have to stay inside and can't see each other too much. It's really great to have these things like this where we can at least over a computer, get to have some conversations.
In a time like this when people remember that you're still here, like you guys now and want to have an interview with me, I appreciate it so much. To be frank with you, I appreciate it so much, Roger and Devin. I appreciate it so much. It's not just like when I do an interview, right? I know to do an interview for promotion's sake alone. But to uplift the minds of people, to let them know what we have been through. Because it's not an easy street in the music. Music business is not an easy road.
True.
You have to persevere, you have to have hope, you have to be strong. There's no business like show business. There's no business I know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything about it is appealing. You know what I mean? It's all of us involved in this business. All of us. Not just a singer alone.
Right.
But the journalists, right? The music college, radio personalities like you guys. Thank God for you. Because you're putting all your time into it.
Right.
Must I appreciate that?
Definitely. I think that.
For instance, you could choose somebody else to have this interview with, but you chose me. I have to appreciate it. I have to.
Well, I mean, like we've told you, we love your music so much. We've listened to it for so long, and so many people watching now feel the same. Ken Stewart from the Scatolites is in the comments. He says, "Thank you for sharing your life experiences and all your wonderful music over the years." And as we wrap it up here, Roger and I.
Devin, I have so much things to say. Years to that take for me say it. Cause listen to this. You see all those beautiful songs you guys listening to. All of us, from Delroy, Bob, go right down, all of us do them. We recorded these songs on Hungry Belly, Because we weren't that fortunate as kids, Our people weren't that fortunate, but they fed us and bred us with a little bit that they have. And you understand? So tell me something. Can you imagine? Can you imagine that? I have to thank God for everything.
All those tunes.
Yeah, man. That's insane. It's a different mindset nowadays for sure,
When I hear that I'm going into the studio, don't eat anything from my research Coxsonne yard. Right? Don't eat nothing, Sit down on the bank side and somebody look through the door and say, Ken, it's your time. My belly filled up with joy. So all these songs here we guys singing. We never eat no food when we sing them, we were singing them. Man, by the way, you can't sing good with a filled belly,
That's true.
That's true.
Thank God for that. We never have no food. We have a belly that make you tired.
Yeah, that's true. Tired, you have to burp.
You understand?
Yeah, that's true.
Thank you guys very much. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Boothe.
I'm not tired. I don't tired of talking to you guys.
Well,
I can feel the spirit.
I love it.
That's a huge compliment for us.
Yes, for
I
sure.
can feel the spirit. I can feel it.
Well, then we have to have you back. Would you be interested in coming back sometime? We do this show every two.
Whenever you're ready, let me know.
Excellent.
Nice.
Let's ask God to live. Live.
For sure.
That's what we all. That's all any of us can do, right?
Because I'm a granddad now. I have a lot of grandchildren. I have great grand.
Wow.
I will never die. I will never die. Never.
True.
A man without a family is not a complete man, So if you guys don't have kids, go get a kid or something, right?
Oh man, you're talking to two guys that don't have them, so we gotta start.
But you have your mother, you have your father, so your family reign on, Your family live on. You have your mother, And you have your father, and she have her mother and her mother. So, we can never die, At the present, you might not,
Right.
but here we are, alive, and well.
Yeah.
Thank
Yep.
God for that.
You gotta be thankful for that.
Thank you, Roger and Devin. Thank you, yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you to Philip for helping us with this, and
Right.
we hope to talk to you soon. Until we do, can you maybe let the people know where they can go right now to find new Ken Boothe music and what you've got coming out, and you can leave the people with that.
I have an album that released about 2 years now. I'm gonna come on, right? Journey. About 3 years, about 4 years, about 6 years ago. Because I'm doing my own business now.
Yeah.
Right.
Good.
I'm doing my own recording business now. So I'm not a person who's like, no, I don't put out songs often, because I want people to hear and to listen and hear. But this album is entitled Journey. Journey with Ken Boothe. You can look on the internet and you find it.
All right, perfect.
Nice.
Well, everyone go look up Ken Boothe, the newest album Journey, and of course, so much of his classic material is available now just at at the click of a button. So we're all lucky to have it. Especially
Much appreciate this,
like we say,
Yeah,
man
man.
and his hits. This is the one. All right, Mr. Ken Boothe. We hope to talk to you again. Until we do, please
But
be
yeah,
well.
I enjoyed it so much.
Thank you.
Same
I still can't believe it being able to talk to you. And we got to have you back on.
I really enjoyed.
Thank you so much, Ken.
Remember
Guys.
Gladiators, the Gladiators?
Yeah.
We played them before, remember?
Mhm. Yeah.
You guys were nice people,
Such nice people, and we're lucky to have a relationship with Clinton Farron, who lives here on the West Coast in Seattle, and he's going to be our next guest. He's coming on the show in 2 weeks from today.
And white folks love them. The last show that I did with them, white folks, nothing but white folks, enough.
It must be why I like him so much.
I'm not telling you, them really.
Yeah.
But it's true, because they used to sing for, You know that?
That's right. Yeah. Studio One stuff.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Anyhow, good talk till tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it next time. We'll get into all this.
All
All right,
right,
sir.
now, I'm
Thank you
Devin.
so much.
You're welcome.
Ken, thank you.
And everybody in California, thank you very much. Remember, COVID, look out for it. You can't see it, You have to take care. Wash hands and take
Mask
care of
up.
yourself. Take care of yourself. Thank you
All
very
right,
much.
sir. All right.
You're
Talk to you
welcome.
soon.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Ken. The man, Ken Boothe, man. Yes, definitely. We got to have him on round 2. So inspiring just to talk to him, for real. Like I'm going to leave this with a smile on my face.
That's one of my favorites. That's we've been lucky enough to have so many where we end it saying that's one of my favorites, but that's got to be up there.
It's got to
The
be,
second
man.
he hit, we were like, "Hello, sir," and he just went boom. He had so much to say.
Well, just the perspective, right? Because you're a musician, I'm a musician. We're doing our thing, and the real perspective on how it circulates, the energy and the love. Him talking about being open to fans and why not, and it's just the bounce back. You got people that are supporting what you do, and you have to support what they're doing. Share the love. So that's very inspiring as a musician. Ken definitely.
What a guy!
Yeah,
So many
sure.
tunes. It's like you're right on the money with that. Just so
Yeah.
many tunes. So speaking of so many tunes, next week, our first repeat guest. He was our second guest ever for the second show we did.
Wow.
And now for what will I think be our 29th show. Okay, first check it out. Before I even get to
I'm
that.
checking.
The Reggae PodClash, as you might have noticed, has moved to a new day. We always did Saturdays. Today is a Thursday. Thursday will not be our regular day forever, but in a couple months we're gonna move things to Wednesdays permanently at what is it, 6? Do we start at 6? Yeah, Wednesdays at 6 p.m. However, we're gonna do Thursdays for a couple weeks, and the next one is on a Thursday, January 21st, and as we were mentioning just now, the one and only Mr. Clinton Farron of the Gladiators will be joining us for our his repeat appearance, our first repeat guest. We've got lots to talk about. Of course, Albert Griffiths of the Gladiators passed a couple weeks ago, so I'm sure we'll be talking a lot about Albert. And Clinton also, had some other things that he said he wanted to talk about. So we're really, really looking forward to that because, beyond his stories and his great music, he's just such a great guy. We've been lucky enough to become, friends with him over the last little while. So make sure to tune into that January 21st. Clinton Farron. What do you got going on right now, Raj?
There's a bunch of stuff. I'm always working, but definitely as far as stuff I want to share with people, I'm really stoked on this collaboration. The beautiful thing about quarantine is you're just bouncing back and working with people that you might not have normally worked with, otherwise. So there's a tune that came out. Really stoked on this tune. It's a collaboration with a group called Dub Trio, and it's with Benji from Skindred. So it's an Ani Kamosi song. We did a cover called Them Thing They Dub. And so go check it out. It's on Spotify and everywhere else you get music, Dub Trio. And yeah, that's what I got.
That's bad, man. Ani Kamosi is one of those like, man, you kind of forget about him sometimes,
Yeah.
I've heard Chronics talk about Ani Kamosi being a big influence on him, and once you said that, I could kind of hear it. I was like, oh yeah, I hear that in there.
Right.
Yeah. I'm doing my thing every Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Songbook sessions. I know a lot of you watching right now tune into that. Thank you for doing so. It's great. I sit right here in this room and sing songs on my guitar. Expanders tunes, songs that I've been writing, Ken Boothe songs, Gladiators tunes, all kinds of, old school Jamaican stuff. It's really been the way I've maintained my mental health during this whole situation, with not having played a gig since March, which is the longest I've gone since like 7th grade or something. And, you too, and all musicians are in that boat. So I'm doing that every Tuesday. I'm giving guitar lessons and vocal lessons and songwriting lessons. Please, 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 let's do a lesson. I love giving lessons. It's like one of my favorite things to do. You can, hit me up direct, or you can go to backstagemusiclessons.com, whatever you want to do. And then go follow me on Twitch because, if you know about Dub Club, they've been doing these great, every Wednesday they do live DJ stuff on Twitch. Twitch is nice to DJs. They don't cut you off yet, the way Instagram does. So, I'm trying to get some followers on Twitch so that I can do a DJ night. I think I've got about 20 followers now. I'm waiting. As soon as I get to 30, people help me get to 30 followers on Twitch, and then I will plan a DJ night, and we'll plan it out, and I'll go play some of these records that I always set up, but no one ever gets to hear. All right. So like we said, the 21st, we have Mr. Clinton Farron coming up, and am I missing something, Roger? We haven't done this in a while.
I don't think so. I think
this is the last thing here, right?
You mentioned the new dates. Just everyone, thank you for the support. Keep following our social medias, and so that's where all the new news will come out. Because this is, these things change sometimes, dates and times, depending on who we're gonna sit with. So
right.
Just stay posted to our social media.
Stay tuned, and remember, go to the Reggae PodClash merchandise store, which you can find at rootfire.net. I'm wearing the one of these hoodies right now. We got the mug, we got the shirts, the beanies, the hats. I just got my hats. I just got my brother's girlfriend and my sister-in-law just got the crop hoodie that you see on the top right there. A lot of nice stuff that you can pick up at the Reggae PodClash merchandise store. Until next time, which will be January 21st with Clinton Farron. Roger, it was great to see you. Happy New Year, everybody. I feel like this is the last. Have you ever seen that Curb Your Enthusiasm where Larry David's like, no more of the Happy New Year, please. That's enough. Like he's like after like the second or third, like you can't say it anymore. It's like it's like 2 weeks. It's already middle of January. No more Happy New Year.
Yeah,
I feel that sometimes, but nonetheless, Happy New Year, everyone. Thanks for watching the Reggae PodClash. Take care of yourselves. Be good, Raj. I will